Good morning from Panhandle Outdoors, America's only daily outdoor TV show. Your source for fishing, hunting, and information for folks who enjoy the great outdoors. Now sit back, relax. It's Panhandle Outdoors.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to Panhandle Outdoors. I'm Winston Chester. I'm glad to hear this Thursday morning. Got a great show lined up as always. But first, our weather brought to us by Haney Technical Center at the corner of Baldwin and Highway 77. They're already doing some registration now for January. I talked to Alex the other day. She texted me and said, please mention it. So they do have registration going on now for January. It's going to be right around the corner, so run by there and check them out. High today, 46. It's not getting out of the 40s. And then low of 35. Water temperature, folks, is falling below 60. Water temperature is at 58 degrees, the Gulf water temperature. Remember, the river sort of reflects the Gulf temperature also for the most part, considering the rain and all. Now, keep in mind, too, we have some heavy rain coming in later tonight, and tomorrow we're going to have some rain. So after that, though, the weekend looks pretty sunny and bright, and still a little cool. The river reading, the Appalachian of Bluntstown, is still high, of course. It's right at 19 foot. They got a little bit, well, really, if you look at the chart, it's just staying level. And I don't know where all that water is coming from. It's been high now for well over a week, like 10 days. The Choctaw-Caribbean, same story. It's right below 11 at 10.5. It's got a little bit of a drop to it, but not much going on there. Tide chart, good strong tide brought to us by Kent Forest Lawn Funeral Home and Cemetery. Low is at 10:12 this morning and high at 11:26 tonight. Our marine forecast is starting off out of the east-southwest, then it's swinging around, coming out of the southeast. It'll be blowing pretty strong at about 10 to 15, so be aware of that if you want any open water. All right, let's take a break. We'll be right back. Okay, welcome back. Let's start off with some pictures and announcements. I'm going to start this first one off. This is really good right here. There's some exciting thing coming up this coming Sunday. Young Stars and Big Hearts, 850 strong, is going to help with the Gulf Coast Children's Advocacy Center. And this is put on by them. These girls have put this together now. I'm really impressed, and it's going to be this Sunday from 1 to 4 at Los Angejitos, and that's over there. Everybody knows where that is. That's the best Mexican restaurant here in town. It's in St. Andrew, $10 per person. Like I said, it's a fundraiser. And I'm going to tell you, these 4 girls are going to be performing. They're all very talented. I know all 4 of them. I heard them sing. Of course, I know one of them real well. Top left there, Mia Carroll. That's our County Commissioner Robert Carroll, daughter, and her mom, Sharon Sossaman Carroll. Very talented young lady, beautiful voice. Then Maddie Chester will be singing. Y'all know Maddie. And then the bottom left-hand corner, Olivia Nagy, and her, she's the one that's sort of putting it together. She and Ruby Tilgman. And the Nagy, that's Danny's daughter, who I talked with at Mosley, and he went to Bay High, just one of the coaches up there. Ruby Tilgman, that's Carl Andrews' granddaughter, and Nancy's daughter, and the Tilgman family, big outdoorsmen. All 4 of these girls, very talented, and this is a fundraiser. You get all the food. It's a fried chicken buffet. I wonder if they're going to cook it Mexican fried. But anyway, it's going to be good. So Sunday afternoon is a good fundraiser. Young Stars, Big Hearts, and I'm looking forward to seeing everybody there. Gail and I were up in Tennessee this past weekend, and we went shopping for some stuff. We went to a mall and had a little sign shop, and I took a picture and showed it. I said, I got to show this to our viewers. Better to have fished and lied than to never have fished at all. And I'm going to make some of these for some of my fishing buddies for Christmas, I think. Anyway, I just want to share that with you. I got a kick out of it. Okay, our next one here. There's another. When the babysitter cancels, but you know the fish are biting, you just put the baby in the back of the boat and you go fishing. Now make sure she got a life jacket on. I just do these things for all to encourage you. Now listen, this is a more serious note right here. Neil Stewart sent this. Okay, we had a travel trailer stolen from us last night in Dothan. It was a Springdale 303. I mean, it's a 30-footer. It's a 2-bedroom. That's a nice trailer. If you see one floating around that looks suspicious, please let me know. Reward if found. Please share. This is RV Connections. This is stolen up there in Dothan. I know you're seeing a lot of these around now. These are good. I don't know how they stole it, but it's a shame they stole it from them. So if you see one that, I don't know how you can identify it, but if it looks, somebody trying to sell you one real cheap, get a hold of law enforcement. Okay, still here waiting for cable and internet. That's the way we are. We still don't have internet. Hope most of y'all do. Okay, so that was some of the pictures anyway. Also, all kinds of things going on as far as, hurricane recovery. And I wanted to just mention some things as outdoorsmen, some things we can do and all. And of course, the first thing I think about is trees, and how Panhandle was just hammered losing trees, not just here on the coast, but all up throughout Alpha and Calhoun County and Jackson County and all. And I got to thinking about it, and there's no magic way to wave a wand like you put a new roof on a house, all of a sudden you got a new roof, but you can't do that with nature. But I would like to see a lot of us planting trees. I know some of us are going to start planting trees as soon as we can, but this is what I would like to see. I'd like to see some groups of people, the young people, some church groups, some school groups and all, getting some trees and just planting them in neighborhoods and people's yards, maybe who can't plant trees. And it'd be great to get just a bona fide effort, everybody unified on that, all throughout the Panhandle, have some kind of springtime planning and all. I know other people are thinking about it too, but I really want to encourage you to do it. I'm going to try to, we've always loved to plant trees and all, and it's a shame we lost some of those, beautiful big trees, but, it's an act of nature and nothing we can do about it. But it would be really good. I'm going to talk to our outdoor ed class there at Mosley. For 20-something, more than that, 20-plus years, we planted sea oat seeds, and then we got the seeds and planted the sea oats. A lot of times we featured it on the show, all along the sand dunes, all along the coastline. And they really came in handy. Of course, a lot of the sand dunes got washed out. But maybe this year, I'll talk to some of them, maybe the outdoor ed class, and go to different places and plant trees. That'd be really good. Because really, we don't have very many sand dunes right now to plant sea oats on. They're going to have to build back up, and they'll do that naturally. So be aware of that. But if you have any ideas, any way to help out on that, let's sort of get together. Sort of be unstructured as far as everybody doing it, but I'm going to try to talk to some government officials if they can purchase them with some of the FEMA money. I know that some of that is sort of for miscellaneous items. That'd be great if they could do that. And get some groups in there planting. So keep that in mind as far as planting trees, and all different sizes. You can plant big trees now. You can get trees 10 foot, 15 foot tall. They're a little pricey, but you can get them. So be aware of that. Let's take a break. I'll be right back. I was just going through my book now, trying to catch up on stuff. I hadn't, been off that month and all. I found some tickets to the Wild Beast Feast at Highland Park Baptist Church. It was on October 9th. I don't know if y'all went, but they didn't have it on October 9th. So these tickets, we can throw them away. But we just have them right there. Now, I also mentioned yesterday, we're going to go ahead and give you the dates for the 2019 scallop season. Is that amazing? We already have the information here. And we're going to do it by color. I'm going to start at the bottom of the screen, okay? And look at it on the left-hand chart. It tells you the color coordinated. So the bottom, we're going to start at the bottom of the chart on the left, and that's Pasco County. You see that? That's around Newport Richey and that area there. Pasco County. They're going to open up July. Now listen, it's going to be a short season there. That tells you one thing. They're getting hammered down there. It's only going to be July 19th through the 28th. So if you're going down there and have friends or something, you want to go. You only got a little window of time. All right, let's go up one more stop, going up from south to north. Blue, in a blue color, that's Levy County, Citrus, and Hernando. That's going to be a long season right there. That's the Crystal River area, the Cedar Key area. July 1 through September 24th. Okay, let's move on up a little bit further. Let's go to right there in the middle page, the dotted yellow. That's Dixie County and Taylor County. That's a pretty long, that's going to start June the 16th through September the 10th. That's the longest season of all right there. That's amazing. That's the Steinhatchee area, Keaton Beach and Deckel Beach there. And then coming around the Big Bend, the blue area, that's Franklin County through Taylor County, and that's the St. Marks and Carabel, and up to St. Joe Bay, but not St. Joe Bay. That's going to be July 1 through September 24th. That's a pretty normal season. That's a long season. And guess what? the last one, the green colored St. Joe Bay, to be determined. And they're going to announce it in 2019. But that's the season's already on scallops, and that's interesting. And they don't know what the effect of the hurricane has had on and also the red tide, and it's sort of everything's sort of, they would have that go ahead and set up, but they couldn't determine. So we'll keep you posted on it so you'll know. But go and make your plans. I know a lot of y'all travel to Steinhatchee and different areas to do that. So go and keep that in mind. All right. I also wanted to mention another effect of the storm was to blow down all the fences. I got a kick out of this because I started looking, and I was talking to other people about it. They felt the same way. Looking at the history of the privacy fences in people's backyard. When our generation was growing up, we just didn't have fences. Now we had some shrubbery or something, planted in between the neighbors, but or some little things. We just didn't have big fences. And all of a sudden, every neighborhood started having fences. I mean, and on 6-foot tall fences all over the place. And they all got blown down, and everybody said, "Hey, I got a neighbor over there." I know y'all went through that too. It's we got a kick out of it. And of course, trees being blown down, you can see way over there and all. And then one of the first things people started doing was building back fences. And I know some of our fishing captains who lost a lot of business in October started building fences. I thought that was very creative and innovative. I'm glad they were able to do that because, it's not rocket scientist to build a fence. I love building fences, but what I was going to recommend, because people talk how much, we talked about this in church one Sunday, how neat it was to just go over there and talk to your neighbor in the backyard like you haven't done it. A lot of people having cookouts, walk across the backyard, having cookouts with your neighbor and all. So if you want to build a fence, build it back, and a lot of us are, and some of us are not. What do you think about it? I saw this the other day, just hit me like a brainstorm. A little 3-foot fence, it's going to still give you a borderline and give you a little bit of privacy for your dog and all that, but you still can look over and see your neighbors and all if that's what you'd like to do, but be a neighborly person. So I just want to mention that about fences. It's fascinating watching them all being built back. Some are being built back lower. So I had that written down to share with y'all. Another thing too, Christmas is just flat out sneaking up on us. Particularly this year, everybody has been in a quandary as far as getting themselves mentally and physically prepared for Christmas. A lot of us, I still don't have a roof. Gail and I still don't have a roof on our house. We still don't have internet, and so many of y'all have the same thing. And Christmas is just, thankfully she's bought some stuff early, but it's going to really sneak up on us. So I want to urge you to get on out there and get a couple hours here and a couple hours there. And I always write down a Christmas list of the different things you can buy for outdoorsmen. So I always like to do the top 10. I just jotted this down last night. I'm not going into a lot of detail about it because I mentioned these things before, and it's 10 of them in a row. And the first 4 starts with a B. And of course I put binoculars. One of the first things, binoculars, they're just flat out cool. And they're so nice and handy and lightweight now. I know the first ones we used to get were those old heavy military ones, and they put them around our neck. We'd be tired walking 3 miles back in the woods with them. So good binoculars. They've got them at our sporting goods store. C&G has some. Boots, again, you got to have good outdoor boots. You want some. If you don't have any snake bite proof boots, you need to get some. And because they're all, we've got so many fallen trees now. You start thinking about walking in the woods now. There are going to be so many fallen trees. I guarantee you, this spring and summer, there are going to be a lot of big rattlesnakes under these trees. A bow, good shooting bow. That's always a good present. A boat, you don't have to get a big fancy boat, but a kayak or canoe or something you just get out on the water on. Number 5, a drone. They make drones affordable. You can get one inexpensive one now, but if you really want to get some nice ones, they make some really nice drones, and the pictures you can get from them are just fascinating. Number 6, a game camera. Just want to check out some kind of game camera. The science behind the game cameras and technology just gets better year after year. It's amazing. Number 7, really I put an asterisk by this, a ground blind. A ground blind this season is almost a necessity. First of all, we don't have very many trees to put a tree stand in, and then our other blinds have been blown over. So go ahead and get a ground blind. If you get one, go ahead and set it up outside and let it sort of air out, and get some, put some pine straw on it and everything, get that new smell off of it. But a ground blind, especially with January coming up and going into February, a good ground blind now. This year, that's going to be a really good present. They're not very expensive. They'll last a couple of years. I love ground blinds. Number 8, How about that motorized bike they have down at C&G? That is just cool. You can put a ground blind on a motorized bike. You can just zig in and out of those trees. I'm serious now. And just if you get a deer, you can pull a deer out with that motorized bike. And that's a good. You know, Gail, I know you're watching this morning. Just think about that. Number 9, charter trip. That was a charter fishing trip. Go buy your tickets and all. We're getting together. Tony Bass and Billy Brown. You know, we've gone tuna fishing the last couple of years. And that is just fun. So if you get a group of people together, buy them a share on a tuna fishing trip, or here locally a red snapper trip or a grouper trip, and you know, that is just a lot of fun. You're going to get some good quality fish. You don't have to have a big boat to go out deep sea fishing. You can go with some people and just have a blast. And I don't know the history. I know the history of our head boats. I don't know the future of our head boats. We're going to have to check onto it. Scott Lindsay called me the other day, said the Florida Queen was up there on land, flown up there. So I want to check on those. Of course, the last one, my book, Full Box, that right there behind me, right here, Full Box. Some of y'all lost your, you know, the rain got in there and got your book wet. And so tell some of your kin folks that you lost it got wet and everything, you want to get a new one. I got them down to C&G, Blue Water. In fact, Blue Water just ran out. I'm going to take some down there maybe today. So that's 10 really good gifts for the outdoorsman right there. And I'm going to add some more later. So just be aware of doing those things and buy something really nice and check that out. Let's take our final break. We'll be right back. Okay, welcome back. Let's take a look at our fishing game time for today, brought to us by Blue Water Outriggers down in Port St. Joe. We're looking at the time is 4:23 to 6:23 this morning, and this afternoon 4:45 to 6:45. Got the rain coming and all, and I was thinking if you have a chance to get out and go fishing, you know, a lot of times you would think about going to an area where the fish are concentrated. And if you remember, Travis did the show yesterday, and he talked about how they you know, gave a citation to someone who was throwing a cast net, but you saw how many fish he caught right on the saltwater side. So if you want to go freshwater fishing on the saltwater side, I guess you have to have a saltwater license too. That's interesting. But anyway, they're really concentrated there. It'd be a good time to go there. Also, keep this in mind too. We're talking about Christmas and all coming up, and this has really been on my mind lately, and someone else mentioned this too. We do a lot in our community of the Panhandle of giving. We're just basically a bunch of givers here, which is wonderful. There are some takers that moved into town, but that's another story on another day. But we do toys for tots and toys here and toys there. We do a tremendous job of getting toys for young people. I mean, for the kids and all. And you know, deservedly so. So many kids, you know, don't get toys and all for Christmas, and Salvage Santa and all. There's so many of them doing it now. In fact, we started looking around. Some of us did. I think we'll get enough toys that every kid in the Panhandle can get toys free for, you know, from Santa Claus. And parents can get them. They're giving them away. People donating, and that's good. And probably enough for every kid to have 4 or 5 toys. Here's what has been on my mind. We're leaving out. Our teenagers are sort of caught in between, and I can speak as an expert because I've spent 44 years working with teenagers as a coach and a teacher. They're not kids anymore, they're not grown-ups, and I wish we could get together something and have a group of people or organization. Let's get some things for some of these teenagers who don't get a lot for Christmas, and I feel strong about that. So keep that in mind, and all kind of things. You give gift cards, a little $20 gift card for you know, a food gift card, a gift card for some music, or gourmet coffee, and you know, all kind of things you can give teenagers. I wish we had a consolidated drive by some organization and all to let's think about teens at Christmas, because they do sort of get left out. I know that for a fact. I've sat there in class and listened to them. They're talking about my little brother, my little sister getting this, and I'm not getting nothing. And so, and then of course when they're grown and all, they can buy. They'll have enough money from their job to buy plenty of stuff for Christmas. But you know, you heard us saying that Christmas is for the kids. Well, I disagree with that. Christmas is for everyone, and you know, everybody should get some things for Christmas. It's a great time of the year where we celebrate the birth of our Lord and Savior Jesus, but it's also a great time where we can give things to different people and show our love and appreciation. So Christmas is a big deal. I didn't mean to get off on a tangent, but that's been on my mind lately, and I wanted to share that with you. You know, it don't have to be, you can just give them cash or something, but just maybe next Christmas, but even this Christmas, not too late too. And I know that, like I say, my kids are getting, my grandkids are getting older now, and I see that, you know, in them and their friends and all, they're not getting much for Christmas. So maybe we're great with our Toys for Tots and Salvage Santa and all that. That's wonderful, and we're giving a lot of things away then. But we're sort of, that's one group we're sort of ignoring. And also getting back to planting trees and all, I know that's who we're going to call on to plant some trees. And we're always asking them to volunteer this and volunteer that, so we want to reward them. I know some of you folks up in Vernon watch the show, so I want y'all to tell Principal Brian Revere that Coach Chester mentioned on it this morning on the show about planting some trees. And I promise you, Brian Revere will get some of his students next spring, to plant some trees around the Vernon campus or somewhere around. He's that kind of guy. And there are other principals out there that may do the same thing, getting their schools doing stuff like that. And all it does is help out. It does a couple of things. It helps out the outdoors. It teaches those young people to do something responsible and give back to the community, to the school. You know, we always did that in our classes, and we always felt very strong about it. I have a lot of other stuff to go over, but I got off on these tangents today. And by the way, I love, sometimes I feel like I'm talking, this is how I talk to school and all. I'll get off on a tangent and just start rolling. And sometimes I find myself doing it on a TV show. I hope you enjoy it, and some of y'all may not, and you probably want to drink more coffee to get over it, but that's just the way I am. I've got a lot of stuff to go over tomorrow, and also we've got Friday. Remember, we've got the rain coming in. We've got Friday. We're going to also give away some fish tomorrow, some grouper, well, some red snapper, but the grouper have been coming in. The grouper is really hot right now as far as catching them. A lot of folks are catching grouper, and the bite's been really strong. The snapper's been good too. So we'll get a fishing report tomorrow, an outdoor report. Remember, general gun season is open. We haven't talked a lot about it, but it's open, and some folks are getting out in the woods, and gradually getting more and more people getting outdoors, and we're going to encourage y'all to do that. I'm going to wrap it up for today. As always, I want to say how much we appreciate you watching Panhandle Outdoors. Do something really good for your fellow man today. You have a great day, and God bless.
Thanks for watching America's only daily outdoor TV show, Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester, featuring hunting, fishing, and other activities and information to help you enjoy the great outdoors. Join us next time for Panhandle Outdoors.